Hi everyone, this is Sam. I'm with Will from Alien Artifacts. If you see that tire pressure symbol come on your dashboard, then you're probably gonna need to fill your tires up. So you want to go to probably a nearby gas station, and you're gonna find one of these, which is gonna be like an air and water pump. And with this air pump, you can fill up your tires, and we're gonna kind of teach you how to do that.
Hi, so this is William from Alien Artifacts. And so let's suppose you don't have that tire pressure sensor in your car, whatever. Maybe you have an older car. In that case, you can use one of these simple tools right here. This is just a tire pressure gauge. It reads it in PSI, and newtons are kilopascals, which is another form of pressure. So in this case, we're going to come down here. On your tire, you're always going to have this thing called a valve stem. It's usually sticking out from the rim. It's pretty conspicuous. I will note that if your valve stem is green, don't do this. Green means you have an inert gas. That means you have to take it to a tire shop. So you pop that out, set it down someplace you remember, and it's got an open end with a little plunger there. That has to be with a little plunger here. You're just going to push it down in nice and firm. Maybe look at it. We can see that he's at just about 34 psi. So with that, from the inside of his car, we know that this should be at 35. He's fairly close, so he probably doesn't need to top anything up here. But we go around to the driver's side. You can probably also tell visually that this tire is a little bit less inflated. We can see our valve stem right there, so we'll pop this off. Take our tire pressure gauge, again with the open in there, and we're just going to push it in, and we can see that he is significantly lower here, around the 20s, and he should be in the 30s. So we know that this tire for sure needs some air in it. So in this case, I'm not going to put the cap back on. I'm going to put it someplace where we can obviously see it, which is right there, and you're now going to move on to actually filling it up.
All right, so to find out what your car's PSI is for the tires, you're gonna want to open your door, and it should be located somewhere in here. Right here it shows 35 psi for my front tires, 35 psi for my rear tires. So this kind of lets us know how much air we should put in our tires. All right, so now the air is on at this air pump. It's automatically set to 35. If we want it to be lower, we could move it down so now it's lower. If we need it to be higher, put it back up. So right now it's set to 35, and yeah, now we're gonna kind of show you how to get into the air.
Okay, so now the machine is on. You set the tire pressure to Bluetooth. You're going to grab the nozzle over here. Super simple. Take it, same thing. It also has that button on the inside. You can go back down to your tire, and you're just going to firmly push that in, and it should start filling right away. If we check our machine, it is also the same thing. It's filling.
So as you can see, it's going up in the machine here.
And he's about where he's supposed to be, so it's going to cut it off. Like that, so the machine is saying it's done. If we wish to double check that, of course, we'll just take our pressure gauge here. Just push it on and see. And look at it. It's exactly 35 psi, exactly where it should be. So with that, we're going to put the thing back, the nozzle. And we want to verify that the tire is correctly inflated. We can also start the car and check the gauges, and that warning light should have gone away now. So some alternatives if you don't want to do the gas station, because obviously you have to pay that gas station is $3 for 6 minutes. You can get a cheap electric tire inflator. I got this one for Harbor Freight, around 15 bucks. Comes with a tire pressure gauge. Also comes with a light too if you're doing it at night. It just plugs into your, usually called it's a cigarette lighter, but it's that 12-volt power supply that's usually inside your one of your little cubbies. It has a little nozzle extension, or if you want to be a real punk about it, you could use a manual pump in addition to your pressure gauge. Obviously, this is kind of like the last ditch effort. Like, if you can't find anything, this, but I usually just recommend one of these guys. They're super cheap. I got mine at Harbor Freight, but you get on Amazon as well.